Welcome to Last Week on the Internet, the show where we talk about the last week's worth of news in the worlds of Twitch and YouTube. I'm your host, LucasBonell, and this week's episode is about the internet's parasocial problem, specifically talking about Jokera, Jason the Ween, and Sakura, but we're going to get on that later. First, I gotta be a nerd for a second, okay? Lock in. I'll put some Subway servers on the screen, okay? It's not gonna hurt you, okay? We're gonna talk a little background, okay? So the word parasocial, what it means is a one-sided relationship. Parasocial was coined in 1956 by Donald Horton and Richard Wohl. I don't know who they are. This is Richard Wohl. Couldn't find a photo of Donnie, but whatever. The original reason they coined this is because TV had just started, and people, for the first time, were feeling an interaction or a physical, relationship with actors and actresses that they saw on the screen. The actors don't know you, and that's going to be very familiar soon in the future. Parasocial relationships are not a new concept, okay? We know this. It happened with the Beatles. Signs that say, John, I love you, and Beatles, please stay here forever. Of course, people loved them, and some loved them a little too much. The royal family is another great example of this. People idolize these people to the point of having a relationship with them when there is no relationship there, which is the problem, which is where the problem lies, okay? And that only gets heightened in the world of social media, because it's as big as it's ever been right now. Social media is an incubator for parasocial relationships. I'm not saying everyone who watches social media is parasocial, obviously, but because we have so much more exposure to these creators, we're gonna fall into this trap way more. So, a couple photos are examples. We got a Minecraft YouTuber convention. I only included this one because there's this quote from Colin Samir I really like.
The most famous people here, without a doubt, are all of the members from the Dream SMP, the Minecraft server started by Dream.
So what you just heard there is hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people surrounding a stage at VidCon. I mean, they had seats out for, I think, 300 people, and those were gone, and it was just hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people. It felt like Beatlemania for the Dream SMP.
Meets BTS.
And they compare the Minecraft YouTuber scene to the Beatles in its prime. Now that we understand what parasocial relationships are as a concept in the creator world and in the real world, let's talk about Jokera. Because a lot of people, anyone over the age of 30, is like, what the fuck is Jokera? What is happening? So, this is Jason the Ween, okay? Twitch's golden boy on the right. And this is Sakura, a Twitch streamer, a sister of Kaede, another Twitch streamer. So, the story goes, there was a streamer prom held by Funny Mike. They rented out a whole place. They're holding a prom for a bunch of Twitch streamers, and then they'd all go live, and then it'd be like a high school prom all over again, right? And Jason the Ween was invited because he's a very large Twitch streamer, and Jason wanted a date to the prom, so he calls up a bunch of people. He calls Pokimane, calls Valkyrae, a bunch, 10 people, and finally he gets down to the list, and he gets to Sakura, which is Kaide's sister, okay? He calls Sakura, and he goes, hey, would you like to go to streamer prom with me? And she says yes, and everyone in chat, because we love dating content, it's fun content, we can't deny that in any capacity, we all freak out. We're like, yay, shipping content, okay, because it's fun. So Jason and Sakura go to prom together, okay? And you gotta remember, it's all in good faith. It's all in good fun. It is content at the end of the day, right? So Jason and Sakura go to prom together, right? And this concept of dating content is a double-edged sword. It's fun, definitely, but it can be taken too far, and we're going to talk about that in a minute. So let's talk about the fun first, okay? Let's talk about the good parts of Jokera. It's cute content. When you're watching these two interact on stream together, it's like, oh, it's like sweet. It's like puppy love. You get to watch, it's like Love Island. It's like a drama TV show. It also was a very big viewer bump for Jason. He averaged 30,000 viewers in the month he did Jokera, and he maxed at 118,000, which is like double what his last month's combined were. Not combined, sorry, excuse me. And he also, with Sakura, drops an EP, which is like a smaller album, and it gets 2.2 million streams. But a lot of good came from Jokera. It was fun content, but like every story, there's two sides. Some took it too far, and that's where the problem lies, okay? So, Jason, the day after streamer prom, tweeted this: Sakura and I are fine. Please stop sending death threats and harassment, especially toward her way. And you may be asking, what went so wrong? Well, Sakura made a joke that a lot of people on the internet didn't like. And what she did was, they got their nails painted together for context. Sakura painted a J on her nail for Jason, and Jason painted an S on his nail for Sakura. And while Jason was in the bathroom, Sakura made a joke that the J on her nail stood for John, Jason's cameraman. And right after she said that, the vibes kind of got weird, and the rest of the night was sort of just off, okay? And right after that, people started sending her death threats, which is a prime example of, one, parasocial relationships. You don't know these people. They are content creators. They don't owe you anything. And two, taking things way too far. So obviously this is an extension of the main topic of parasocial relationships, how they can be a bad thing. And yeah, it went way too far. But the person I think who encapsulated it best, right, is Valkyrae. And I think I'm going to let her speak for me at the end here, because I agree with what she said wholeheartedly. And I think it's just, A good thing to keep in the back of your mind while you're watching these creators, your favorite creators, live on stream. Let's give it a listen.
I think that they're fine. I think that they talked it out, and I think that they're still going to go on the Japan trip. And I think everyone needs to go outside, including myself. Please don't participate in the harassment of the streamers you enjoy to watch, okay? At the end of the day, it's content.
That's all it is, man. That's all it is. There's a line that parasocial people cross, and that's what I really want to bring to light here today. How it can be bad and detrimental to your streamers that you enjoy watching, right? Like Sakura. All right, and that's pretty much the full story of Sakura, okay? After that, they made up, they went to dinner a couple times, they're doing a Japan trip soon, and they're still making content together. It's all good fun again, okay? We fixed it. The story has a happy ending, which is good. And now for headlines of the week, where I talk about other notable things that happened this week in media. Now, usually I rank these, Usually I rank these in order from like most important to quote unquote least important. So the first one is the FaZe 4th of July party. I know it doesn't sound important, but it actually matters to the story, okay? Lock in. The FaZe 4th of July party. FaZe, if you don't know, is a gaming organization. In total, on 4th of July, peaked 287,967 viewers, which is insane. And the big reason that this is the first headline of the week is that at the party, Sakura kissed Jason on the cheek. And everyone lost their shit. This is an article written by a real fucking news source. Someone with a journalism degree had to write this article. Sakura kiss breaks the internet. I think that's very funny. So yeah, it just goes to show how big shipping and relationship content can go outside of one small Twitch circle. So next thing, big changes to YouTube monetization. Now you would think, yo, I'm not a YouTuber, why does this matter? It's actually super important to consumers. The big two things that YouTube is cracking down on this update is AI generated content and reaction content. Okay, AI generated content is going to be demonetized fully if the content is fully auto generated. And the second thing that YouTube's cracking down on is reaction content. So content creators who play like a Mr. Beast video and then they don't like react at all, and they like sit there like and they laugh every 5 minutes like, ha, that's fire, right? Those creators are not going to be able to monetize anymore, which is, I think, is good. I'll say it. I think if you're going to react to something, there is merit in reacting to something if you react and give it substance. If you give it more than what it was. But if you react and you just sit there and you laugh at it, like, that's kind of fucked. The next big story is Stop Killing Games. It's a movement out in Europe, a AAA publisher, or a game that you could purchase for $60, right? It's a live service game, so there's servers running somewhere. I don't know how games work, really, that support the game you purchased. One day, if that game's not making any more money, the publisher can just like shut it down. And then you have an expiration date on a product that you didn't know existed, and you can't play your game anymore. And people are bummed about that. So how it works in the EU is that if you sign something a million times, a petition a million times, it gets seen by the parliament. So they hit that goal thanks to creators like Charlie, Moist Critical, and Ludwig talking about it on their streams. And if you think you're in America and this doesn't apply to you, it actually does. You see this phone right here? You see my phone? It's shattered. I don't know if you could tell me that, but that's not what matters, okay? This phone is powered by USB-C. And the only reason it has a USB-C plug on it is because of a motion that was passed in Europe. Because Europe sued Apple and said, yo, Lightning is too not universal. You got to make that shit USB-C. And Apple's like, okay, well, if we're going to do it for Europe, we might as well do it for America. So the hope is if this passes in Europe, then something similar might pass in America. And that's Stop Killing Games. Our next big story is Call Me Chris, a creator online. You might have seen her. She makes a movie, okay? She wrote, directed, and is starring in a brand new movie called House on Eden. This is not an ad. This is not an ad. This is not an ad. It's going to be in theaters July 25th, and I think this is awesome. This is what this whole show is about. Platforming creators doing cool stuff. And finally, my content recommendation of the week is this YouTube channel I found called Golf Cart. This is The Curse of Building Something Too Big, the Ludwig Ogren story. This video is like Nardwar for YouTubers. It is so good. And that's it. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe. I make these every other week. I stream every weekday on Twitch. I'll see you there, and thank you for watching.